Hey guys, today I'll show you my list for the top 10 movie moments. I'm going to be going for movies not just in superheroes, but from different varieties. Although most of them are based with superheroes. But, let's jump right into it. Number 10, The Fight on the Train, Wolverine. In this 2013 movie, we see Wolverine getting over the events of X-Men Last Stand, as he is protecting a young girl named Mariko from hitmen who have been hired to... I should have mentioned there will be spoilers, so spoiler alert. So he's protecting this girl, and there are these hitmen that try to take her from the temple that her father's funeral was being held at, attack her. They follow her onto a train, but they run into Wolverine. The fight takes them on top of the train, where we get one of Wolverine's coolest kills. Number 9. Climbing the Wall, World War Z. This film wasn't actually great. It wasn't that good, but you couldn't forget about this really weird scene. In this scene, in Jerusalem, there's been a huge wall built, and most of the survivors are in there. But they start playing music, which means all of the zombies on the outside of it can hear them. So they start bundling on each other, trying to get over the wall, which then makes them flop over it, which is kind of weird and funny at the same time. Number 8. The Jungle Against Shere Khan, The Jungle Book. I'm talking about the 2016 remake, which was actually really good. I did like that very much. In this scene, we see Mowgli and the entire jungle face off against the main antagonist, Shere Khan, who's voiced by none other than Idris Elba. I thought he did a really good job of that. But with this scene, it's like Mowgli is thinking that everyone fears him because he's holding fire. But instead, like, Baloo, Bagheera, and everyone else side with him against Shere Khan. It's also one of the most inspirational scenes, I think. Number 7. Where's Francis? Deadpool. Possibly one of the funniest montages in cinema history. Like, we get Deadpool trying to find the guy that made his face look like pepperoni flatbread. His words. But with this, we get several different ways of him killing. Like, we also see him stitching his suit, running down every lead he has on anyone that could help him. But I think my favourite is when he's trying to kill someone with a Zamboni. Number 6. Wonder Woman joins the fight. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. At first, it's only Batman and Superman facing off against Doomsday, but Wonder Woman evidently turns up to save Batman's skin when Doomsday fires an intense blast at him. She deflects it with her invincible bracelets, and we get her coolest theme tune ever. If you ask me, it's one of the coolest tunes for any superhero. But not only that, but we get a pretty intense fight scene as well. Doomsday is my favourite DC villain, but I'm not too happy about the way they made him look in the film. Number 5, The Battle of New York, Avengers Assemble. This is probably one of the most famous pictures in cinema, and it's this whole scene here that viewers will think of. But it's pretty much the 6 main members of the Avengers coming together to fight Thor's adopted evil brother, Loki, who has unleashed an army called the Chitauri on Earth. And overall, this scene is possibly one of my favorites. It does make them seem like the real Earth's mightiest heroes. Number 4, Flex Off, Dirty Grandpa. That Dirty Grandpa is such a funny film. You got Zac Efron in it as well, who has changed completely since High School Musical. But in this scene, we see Jason and his grandpa in a flex-off competition against two douchebags they met on a beach. And at the moment, they're starting to kick their ass. But they end up making them look like idiots when they pull off something that they used to do when Jason was younger. Evidently, they actually forfeit, and the other guys win. But Jason's grandpa then shoots one of them with a t-shirt cannon, but there's a beer bottle in it. I think that would hurt a bit. Number 3, the plane scene, The Dark Knight Rises. The first scene in the whole film. This scene was actually filmed as it was seen. It was actually like this. This whole thing happened this way. And when a group of men think that they're questioning Bane's men, they don't know they've actually got Bane with them. But at that moment, like, another plane shows up and a few more men pop out, and they start killing all the guys that are holding Bane and his men hostage. And at that moment, this plane goes crashing to the ground while Bane and a hostage are still hooked on a cable line to the other plane. If you ask me, that would scare the living hell out of me, honestly. Number 2. The bloody nightclub scene, Blade. This scene is one of the most badass things in any Marvel movie. We see Wesley Snipes as Blade dealing out what he does best to vampires. He shows up at a nightclub where blood is in the sprinklers, and it's amazing that he didn't get one drop of blood on his coat. If you ask me, Wesley Snipes was born to play Blade. But he fits that role perfectly, just like Hugh Jackman with Wolverine and Robert Downey Jr. with Iron Man. But he is showing off all his martial arts skills and all his advancements in weaponry, and it's just overall a kick-ass scene. There's no honourable mentions, so we'll get right to number 1. Number 1, the airport battle, Captain America: Civil War. This is my favourite movie in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it pretty much shows what I think is my favourite Captain America storyline, which is Civil War. But in this scene, Cap is trying to help out his friend Bucky, but Tony and his team aren't going to be letting him. On each side, on Captain's team, it's Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and the Falcon. But on Iron Man's side, it's War Machine, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Vision, and Black Widow. It's an intense fight, but it pretty much ends with Captain and Bucky managing to escape. But they're all going at it full throttle. Like, Cap's beating the crap out of Iron Man, Panther's giving it to Winter Soldier, and Vision actually passes through Ant-Man when he becomes Giant Man. And his reaction to that was just hilarious. Right guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be sure to subscribe and comment what your top 10 list is. But I will see you next week when I give you another top 10 list. See you guys.